Toyota's looking to expand, and Amazon has joined the TV conversation. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Good to be back from the 24 hours of Daytona. All right, first things first, let's get into it. Toyota's David Wilson has said they are looking to expand in 2024. Let's look at this article from Jayski. Toyota Racing Development is making a renewed push to expand its lineup in the NASCAR Cup Series, and President David Wilson is optimistic about adding new teams for 2024. We've got some good irons in the fire now, Wilson told NBC Sports last weekend at Daytona International Speedway. What was once a very effective strategy to amass our resources across fewer cars, with the marginalization of the areas that we have to play in and the flattening out of the playing field, we definitely need more help. When TRD entered NASCAR's Premier Series as the fourth manufacturer 16 years ago, the target was fielding roughly a quarter of the 43-car field, but Toyota's Cup fleet has always remained in single digits, even as NASCAR shrunk to 3 manufacturers and a 40-car field. Can't read today. 24-hour hangover. Anyway, so if you look at the teams out there, they could grab a team like Spire or Rick Ware Racing and maybe grab them for the charters or something like that. So there are teams that they could go out there and grab and put that Toyota money into and sort of build up those areas like that. So imagine Rick Ware Racing with a real Toyota presence, or Live Fast with a real Toyota presence. One of the smaller teams, Spire Motorsports, with a real, Toyota presence, becoming, essentially a real factory-backed team, as opposed to basically the independents and the independent level money that they have now. But the other direction you could go is take an established team that's already out there, like, say, Front Row Motorsports. Front Row Motorsports, an independent team that has some forward backing. You've seen them incrementally get better and better every single season, to where last year, basically, they were a legitimate contender in the playoffs. Now, they weren't going to win the championship by any stretch of the imaginations, but they legitimately have become a consistent playoff contender, so you could grab a team like that. And, of course, also the other option is to, just expand 2311, and once again, Live Fast, Rick Ware Racing, all those teams like that would have to come into play. Spire, they would have to come into play where you would, just buy them for their charters, essentially, and they become part of 2311. I say that because, obviously, Denny Hamlin has talked about expanding 2311. So, interesting news going forward. Toyota is looking to expand to get to that, proper market share in the field that they wanted to get to when they first came in. Adam Stern reporting Fox Sports and NBC Sports want to renew their NASCAR TV deals past 2024, and Amazon is the most likely candidate to pursue a third package that NASCAR might carve out for a streaming company. NASCAR could complete a deal by fall. So that is interesting. We know Amazon has been looking to get into sports for quite some time, and they've done a really good job with their Thursday night football deal with the NFL. In that particular situation, the Fox and NBC carry their normal games, and they have the Thursday night games. This is a situation that would be a little bit different. I don't know exactly how they're going to work this. Would NBC and Fox still have their regular, coverage, and then you could also stream it on Amazon? Would that be an option? So you could stream the NBC coverage on Amazon, or you could stream the Fox coverage on Amazon? Or would Amazon have its own team like they do with the Thursday night football games? Would Amazon have its own team for the NASCAR deal? It's going to be really interesting to watch. But basically, what he's telling you here is Fox and NBC are basically going to be back. So everybody that was hoping for ESPN, looks like that probably is not going to happen right now, according to Adam Stern. So it looks like we're going to be with Fox and NBC going forward, and possibly Amazon is going to be worked into that mix for streaming somehow, whether it be their own deal, or are they just going to stream the Fox and NBC coverage. And a couple of stories that I didn't get to cover while I was at the 24 hours of Daytona, because the Wi-Fi there just wasn't quite good enough. I did try to stream. I know some of you saw that. I didn't quite make it, but here we go. Jenson Button plans to join Jimmy Johnson and Mike Rockenfeller as the third driver for the NASCAR Garage 56 entry in the 24-hour of Le Mans. That was reported by Nate Ryan. So, of course, the interesting takeaway there is Jeff Gordon lost all that weight for nothing. I don't know if you've noticed, but Jeff Gordon has been getting into really good shape, and he wanted to run that Garage 56 at Le Mans, but Not going to happen. So that is very interesting, unless they, sort of make him like an all-star surprise entry. I know that happens at Daytona a lot. Not super up on what happens at Le Mans. I like watching it, but very, very far from an expert. But I don't think Jeff Gordon's necessarily out of the running. He just might be something like a surprise name they add later. Would not shock me to see that happen. So, but yeah, he wasn't on the list, and that was surprising to a lot of people. Okay, the other story, of course, is that Helio Castroneves and the money team could not get together on that deal for him to drive in the Daytona 500. Of course, if you don't know the backstory there, he was promised if he won an SRX race, Don Hawk would put him in a NASCAR car for the Daytona 500. That deal has not been able to work out, but the money team is not giving up. They are now moving their efforts to possibly get a deal together for Connor Daly to drive the 50 team. So Helio Castroneves will not make this Daytona 500. Hopefully they can get a deal done for the next Daytona 500, but they are still working on a deal, the money team at least, to get Connor Daly in there. All right, Dierks Bentley will be your, basically, I guess, entertainment pre-race for the Daytona 500. A lot of people have been asking about that, and I think that's about all I got for this one. So first one back since the 24 Hours of Daytona. Great event. If you get a chance, go check that one out. If you like the content, made it this far at least, feel free to subscribe down below. It helps the channel out a whole lot, and I really appreciate all the subscriptions. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you as well. If you got a comment, question, or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section. I'll try to get to as many as I can. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.